a way of, how can I say, impoverished, lost in the mind, and need help with their family members' ability to stay alive without being harassed by these crooked judges and lawyers all over this land. What I want to share with you, I've been trying to share earlier, um, about our empire. This is the Star Spangled Banner of the Iroquois Confederation of Morocco. They call it the flag of America, or the United States, and none of that's true. It's part of the overthrow of our government, and our job is to put our flags back on top of the White House. Anyway, all of these go together, and they took them away from your eyesight, so you talk like you do and walk like you do. But my job is to bring all of this back together. You have a person called Donald John Trump who's sitting before the people. Yeah, the Constitution of the Iroquois Nations. This is the Iroquois Nations banner right here. I know you think it's a rebel flag and all the Confederate stuff you've been seeing, but it belongs to us. When George Washington chopped down the cherry tree right here, that's when everything fell for us and they got rid of all of everything about us. But let me read to you about what I'm talking about. This is our Constitution, not that bogus one that everybody's talking about. And my job is to put all of the flags back and restore the Republican form of government. And I'm going to let you see about my bloodline as well as your bloodline, Morris. Straight Egyptian of Pharaonic. Hold on. This is my memorandum of law, uh, challenging their bogus jurisdiction. They stole my apartment. I'm homeless right now. I've been homeless since March 6th of this year, 2026. And they're trying to block what I'm doing because they're caught. They got together against me. This lawyer named Cutting Law Office PC and a judge named David S. Keenan. I had defeated this lawyer in the first hearing when he tried to evict me. He didn't have nothing right. It was all wrong. The whole thing is a fraud, and the government jurisdiction is a fraud from the Democratic. No matter what they do, the judges are Democratic and they work for the Democratic government. They're criminals. Only we can sit as president. Islam. I'm gonna have this read aloud for you so you can participate with what's going on in this case for you to. Also, we'll show you, this is your reparations form, as well as this is your notice to join into these cases, but through the Grand Council, because only Moors. So yes, the Moors of the Grand Council, we run the government. This is the ancestors left us order, and we are out of order. This is order. Once we go through this, you'll see what I mean. The women rule the earth, and that's what it's about. So hopefully I can get this to play without stopping because I getting a slow connection sound.
King Abdul-Mumin El-Star Spangled Banner of the Kingdom of Morocco Iroquois Confederation of Morocco. Superior Court of Washington for King County. Shaq v. Emperor King Abdul-Mumin ELAK. Joseph Stanley Piggott Jr. 25-2-38307-5. Emperor King Abdul-Mumin Els. Memorandum of Law in Support of Special Appearance and Challenge to Jurisdiction. 25-2-38307-5. Emperor King Abdul-Mumin Els. Memorandum of Law in Support of Special Appearance and Challenge to Jurisdiction. Memorandum of Law in Support of Special Appearance and Challenge to Jurisdiction. Defendant.
Excuse me, family. I'm going to have to give you some information out here. This thing keeps stopping because of the connection of where I'm at. So the
L, appearing specially and not generally, respectfully submits this memorandum of law. Jurisdictional defect, removal to federal court. On February 13th, 2026, defendant removed this case to the United States District Court for the Western District of Washington, case number 2:26, CV 000616, JHC. On February 20th, 2026, the United States District Court sent defendant a letter confirming that the case had been removed. On April 8th, 2026, the court received notification that this matter had been returned to its jurisdiction. On April 20th, clerk sent a letter to Brendan Andrew Swearingen of Cutting Law Office, formally notifying them that the case had been reinstated and assigned to the Honorable Andrea Robertson. Despite this reinstatement, defendant was never properly served with notice of the reinstatement, nor was he given an opportunity to appear and be heard after the case was returned from federal court. Upon information and belief, ex parte communications occurred between plaintiff's counsel and the court without defendant's knowledge or participation. The judgment and writ of restitution were entered without proper jurisdiction and without due process. I, the great law of peace, Gayanashagawa. The Great Law of Peace is the ancient constitution of the Iroquois Confederacy, Haudenosaunee. Under this system, jurisdiction over the land and soil flows through the clan mothers via the maternal line, the womb of the Iroquois mother. Only authorized clan mothers and their designated lords have the right to speak and make decisions concerning the land and people. Wampum 15 makes clear that foreign nations and unauthorized entities have no voice in the Confederacy's internal affairs unless properly invited by the clans. The Grand Council of the Iroquois Confederation holds ultimate decision-making authority over the family of nations concerning the land of over 1 million square miles of land, the 7 seas, and the skies above. This court, operating as a or jurisdiction over defendant's estate without proper invitation through the authorized clan mothers and the Grand Council of the Iroquois Confederation. 2. Defendant's status as 13th Defendant is the 13th heir in the direct line of succession under the Iroquois Confederation of Morocco. The full annotated lineage is as follows. 1. Musa Musa, 1310 to 1333, 23 years, King of Mali. Flooded Cairo with gold, so heavy the market crashed for 12 years. Built universities, mosques, and libraries. Wampum, rings of gold, the beads were his wealth. 2. Sundiata Keita, 1235 to 1255, 20 years, founder of the Mali Empire. Wrote the Mandan Charter, first constitution. Wampum, the river Niger spoke his name. 3. Keita I, Abu Bakr II, 1275 to 1310, 35 years. Sent 200 ships west across the Atlantic. First explorer king. Wampum, ocean swallowed the beads. 4. Askia Muhammad, 1493 to 1528, 35 years. Turned Songhai into the largest West African empire. Made Timbuktu a global center of learning. Wampum, ink replaced shells. 5. Taharqa, 690 to 664 BC, 26 years, pharaoh of the 25th dynasty. Defeated the Assyrians and built pyramids that still stand. Wampum, stone beads. 6. Queen Nanny, Mama Nanny, legendary Maroon leader of the Windward Maroons in Jamaica. Never defeated in battle. Led her people to freedom and victory against the British Empire. Wampum, fire and resistance. 7. Nzinga, 1624 to 1663, 39 years, Queen of Dongo and Matamba. Fought the Portuguese for over 30 years. Never surrendered. Wampum, her spine was the string. 8. Amina, 1576 to 1610, 34 years, Queen of Zaza. Warrior queen who conquered cities and built walls. Wampum, Iron Chief. 1464 to 1492, 28 years. Founder of the Songhai Empire. Built a navy on desert rivers. Wampum, dunes as beads. 10. Oba Esigi, 1504 to 1550, 46 years. Oba of Benin. Turned bronze into speaking art. Wampum, metal mouths. 11. Hayreddin Barbarossa, 1518 to 1546, 28 years. Admiral of the Ottoman fleet. Made the Mediterranean his private lake. Wampum, salt and rope. 12. Suleiman, 1520 to 1566, 46 years. The lawgiver. Expanded the empire and codified law. Wampum, gold thread. 13. Salim the Grim, 1512 to 1520, 8 years. Took Egypt, Mecca, and Medina. Wampum, dust, silences power. 14. Abdul Mumin, 1130 to 1163, 33 years. Founder of the Almohad Caliphate. Built his throne on the Atlas Mountains. Wampum, rock and blood. The 14 presidents of the Continental Congress, successors 14 through 2714. Peyton Randolph, first president of the Continental Congress. 15. Henry Middleton, second president of the Continental Congress. 16. John Hancock, third president of the Continental Congress, famous signer of the Declaration of Independence. 17. Henry Lawrence, fourth president of the Continental Congress, presided during critical years of the Revolutionary War. 18. John Jay, fifth president of the Continental Congress, later became first Chief Justice of the United States. 19. Samuel Huntington, sixth president of the Continental Congress, presided when the Articles of Confederation were ratified. 20. Thomas McKean, seventh president of the Continental Congress, signed the Declaration of Independence. 21. John Hanson, eighth president of the Continental Congress, first president under the Articles of Confederation. 22. Elias Boudinot, ninth president of the Continental Congress, signed the Treaty of Paris ending the Revolutionary War. 23. Thomas Mifflin, 10th president of the Continental Congress, Revolutionary War general. 24. Richard Henry Lee, 11th president of the Continental Congress, introduced the motion for independence. 25. Nathaniel Gorham, 12th president of the Continental Congress, presided during the lead-up to the Constitutional Convention. 26. Arthur St. Clair, 13th president of the Continental Congress, served as president during the writing of the Constitution. 27. Cyrus Griffin, 14th president of the Continental Congress, final president of the Continental Congress. 28. Emperor King Abdul Mumin, 13th heir. At the age of 3, defendant knew and declared who he is. In 2016, he formally demanded a prisoner swap under Article 16 of the Treaty of Peace and Friendship of 1787, current bearer of the royal standard of the Iroquois Confederation of Morocco. Wampum, blood and spirit. 3. The defeated British legal class and the ongoing overthrow of Moorish sovereignty ****. Following the Revolutionary War, the Treaty of Paris of 1783 was signed, formally ending British authority over this land. The British lawyers and judges who had operated the colonial courts while wearing the white wigs of the British Legal Guild were defeated along with the British Empire. These members of the British Legal Guild were required to withdraw their authority from this land. They were never authorized to remain and continue exercising judicial or legal power. Instead of departing, this same class of British-trained lawyers and judges remained. Over time, they took control of the Star-Spangled Banner of the Iroquois Confederation of Morocco. They now sit in judgment under that stolen banner while continuing to enforce a legal system rooted in British statutes, codes, and procedures. In doing so, this defeated British legal class has effectively overthrown the sovereign authority of the Moorish Empire and the Iroquois Confederation on this land. Under defendant's banner, while enforcing British-derived law, constitutes an ongoing overthrow of Moorish and Iroquois sovereignty in direct violation of the Treaty of Paris of 1783 and the Treaty of Peace and Friendship of 1787. 4. Constitutional and treaty obligations asterisk asterisk. Pursuant to the United States Constitution, Article 6, Clause 2, Supremacy Clause, all treaties made under the authority of the United States are the supreme law of the land, and the judges in every state shall be bound thereby, anything in the Constitution or laws of any state to the contrary notwithstanding. Under Article 6, Clause 3, all senators, representatives, and judicial officers are bound by oath to support the Constitution, which includes treaties as the supreme law of the land. Article I of the United States Constitution reflects the original framework and offer extended to the Iroquois Confederation and allied nations. Under Article 4, Section 4, the United States guarantees every state a republican form of government. This guarantee was made to the original sovereign nations on this land, including the Iroquois Confederation and Moorish heirs. Defendant stands under this protected republican form as a Moor. Articles 14, 21, 22, and 24 of the Treaty of Peace and Friendship of 1787 provide the following protections. Article 14. The Moors granted United States citizens the right to pass and repass the country and seaports of the Moroccan Empire. This article was made by the Moors for their own protection. Article 21 requires equal justice when a Moor is involved in any legal matter in that proper treaty procedures must be followed. Article 22 protects property rights and succession. Rightful heirs must have their estate and property rights respected without interference. Article 24 requires that any dispute involving the treaty must first be resolved through friendly application and negotiation before any hostile action may be taken. V. Infringement by this court is currently infringing upon defendant's sovereign right to rule in his capacity as 13th heir by conducting proceedings in a democratic court while defendant's banner, royal standard of the Iroquois Confederation of Morocco, is present in violation of the 1787 Treaty and the Supremacy Clause of the United States Constitution. 6. Conclusion asterisk asterisk. Because jurisdiction over the land flows through the womb of the Iroquois mother, only authorized clans may speak under the Great Law of Peace, and the Grand Council of the Iroquois Confederation holds ultimate decision-making authority over the family of nations concerning the land of over 1 million square miles of land, the 7 seas, and the skies above. And because the judges of this court are constitutionally bound by the self-executing Treaty of Peace and Friendship of 1787 as the supreme law of the land, this court lacks jurisdiction over the person and estate of the defendant. Wherefore, defendant respectfully requests that the court recognize his special appearance, acknowledge the jurisdictional limitations under the Great Law of Peace and the 1787 Treaty, vacate the judgment and writ of restitution, dismiss the complaint with prejudice, and restore possession of the property. Dated asterisk May 24th, 2026. Emperor King Abdul Maminel, 13th heir, Iroquois Confederation of Morocco. Defendant, Pro Se 206 693 9073.
If you're watching, thank you. But like I said, this is our Constitution. This is the Earth's Constitution, and they hid it. They hid everything. So they hid this. They wrote you out of history. They've done everything to you, but you're still here surviving. We will win this war against the Moors, or the nobility of the Moorish Empire. I promise you that. Islam nobles. I have more to say, but I wanted this to be more quiet than, but my connection where I'm at is slow. So I will be back, and we will surround these judges and lawyers. We will put them in the guillotine. There are many people that call me telling me about their children being taken by this system and they can't get them back. But you can get them back because these people are foreigners. They have no voice. They're sitting on our land pretending to be Moors of the Iroquois Confederation of Nations. Lawyers and judges are not of the Iroquois Grand Council or anything. They are in high treason. They will be put in the guillotine. That's my job. My job is to put all of these flags back up on top of the house or the Royal Presidential Palace as required under the treaty of of under our government. So as you can see, you are royalty, you are pharaoh, you're modern day, just beat up, and being a black person, African American, you cannot use that brain with anything as an heir. You what you inherited as an heir is the whole earth. You own the White House. The White House is the royal presidential palace for the